Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to talk about the most profitable niches for video businesses, and I'm going to show you some examples of clients who've actually closed deals with these niches, and then explain to you why these are the most profitable niches, and how you can start going into these niches yourself and start landing deals today. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name's Eric Deeren. I run Master Filmmaker, and at the time of recording this video, we've coached over 412 video business owners, and we help them close high-ticket retainers by implementing our inbound system. So if you want to learn more about that, there's a link below this video, but without further ado, let's dive into the training. All right, so let's talk about the most profitable niches for video businesses. And so before we dive into that, let me give you some examples of what these niches actually look like. So let's look at Alan here. He actually closed a 70K 6-month retainer, and we worked with him on this with a home health company. And so within that, he's basically creating content for them on a monthly basis. He's getting paid a little over $10,000 a month. And then you have Clayton here, and he's working with a pharmacy for a 30K project. And this one actually ended up closing. We actually talked to him a couple days later, and he ended up closing this for 30K for this project. So let's talk about which niches are not profitable. So the ones that are not profitable are going to be mom and pop shops, right? Extremely small businesses, businesses that are brand new, coffee shops, restaurants. Now you may be asking, why are these not profitable niches? Well, the reason that these are not profitable is typically because these are companies that have what we call low margin. Now, what low margin basically means is that these people don't have a lot of money to pay you. So margin is basically, let's go over this here real quick. So margin, let's say that they sell something for $20. So it's $20 is what they actually sell it for up here. Now, margin, let's say that they make, well, let's say that it costs them, say it costs them $15 to actually make this thing. Now that would leave them $5 of margin. And so margin is basically the money that they're making, whereas cost is $15. So these companies, basically, they have low margin here, which makes it very difficult for them to be able to spend any money on actually bringing in new customers or customer acquisition or content for their business, which is why they would be hiring you in the first place for their business. And so because these people have super low margin, it makes it very difficult for them to be able to make any money or hire anybody, because let's say that they make, $100,000 in a month. At these margins, they would only be profiting $20,000 a month. And so because they're not actually profiting a ton of money, it's really tough for them to be able to pay you. And so that's why for these people, everything is too expensive, or it's just really difficult to get them to commit to anything because it's too expensive for them physically. Like they don't have enough money to pay you. Okay, so now let's talk about some actual profitable niches for video business owners. So this could be anybody like a home service company, a lawyer, medical companies, roofing companies, solar companies, service-based businesses. Anybody who sells something for a high ticket amount of money, because just like the last example, these businesses are high margin businesses, just like this example here, right? So this, let's say that you're going after a roofing company. They sell something for a $30,000 ticket price on average. It costs them $10K to actually make the thing, and then they profit $20K on that. Now, if you charge them $20K for a video, they would only need one client to pay back the entire investment of working with you. In the other example up here, if you're going after like a coffee shop or something like that, I mean, they're gonna need to, if you're selling the same video, which is like $20K, they're gonna need to sell a lot of coffees here to ever make that money back. And most of the time, it just doesn't make sense for them. It's a harder hill for them to climb mentally. So that's why we go after higher margin businesses like home service companies, lawyers, medical companies, roofing companies, solar, service-based businesses, because they have a higher margin and it's easier for us to justify our cost to work with them. Now, here's the super simple litmus test to know, because you may be like, well, Eric, I don't know if they're a high margin business, or I don't know if they have a ton of margin. I don't know what it actually looks like. Now, really what you're looking for is any business that sells something for a high ticket amount of money. That's usually a fair sign that they're making margin on it. And so if you're evaluating what niche to go into, or who to go after, or what market to go after in your video business, look at what business sells something for a high ticket amount of money and go after those people. Because if you can say to the client, say, hey, if I get you one more client, would this project be worth it? If the answer is yes, it makes it a lot easier for you to sell. And until you get really good at sales, you might as well go after clients that are easier to close than try to fight an uphill battle working with a coffee shop, having them nickel and dime you. Because at the end of the day, like, the success of your business depends on the market you choose, not necessarily how good you are at selling, marketing, closing. If you can pick a really good market, you can pick rich clients, then you can make a lot of money in your business, and you don't necessarily have to be the best at sales or selling. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about how we help video business owners scale their business and close more retainers in their business, there's a free training linked below. Go ahead and check that out. And that goes through our 4-step process on how we've helped 412 video business owners one-to-one over the past couple of years build their business and scale their business. So if you want to check that out, link below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.